Hello, people, and welcome to Footy Judgment. I thought I'll go live before even the panel come here, to be honest. I am going to be joined by Martin in a second. Of course, Patrick is going to be here. Of course, Ads is going to be here. Jerry James is going to be here. Massive news. Arsenal move quickly and get the signing of Eze. It's actually done, actually. And it's for 68 million. Did Havertz need to actually get injured for Arsenal to move to for Eze? We actually don't know. Or this was always planned, but Spurs in the mud. Absolutely in the mud. In the mud, of course. Arsenal hijack Eze. It's that easy, you know? You know when I say it's that easy? I literally said, why aren't I screaming this morning? I was screaming this morning about why Arsenal aren't moving for Eze. It's that easy. The guy is begging you to join their club. And here we are. They're absolutely ridiculous, to be honest with you, that they actually signed Eze. Very simple, but you know what? Let me get the guy in. Forget all this talk. Here we go, people. This is, it's ridiculous because I didn't expect, of course, Arsenal to get a guy like this. Here we go. What are you saying?
Big up, Mo. It's a good time for a stream. I don't know whether you planned this or not, but
I didn't. I swear I didn't. I didn't plan it. I didn't plan it. It's just, it's luck. It's absolutely.
I was ready for funeral settings. You know, I've been watching a few streams here and now, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, Arsenal, they can't create. The world is ending," and yet here we are, the little Eze Bomba from Ornstein. Things you love to see. And now Spurs have been very kind and done several weeks of content for us to just slowly dig up and enjoy and rub in their faces.
It's absolutely, it's crazy. Huh? Like they actually now, like, you know, like they did everything. Oh my God, Spurs agreed. Spurs are this. Spurs are here. He's keen on joining Spurs. He is keen.
I told them they need to hurry up.
And then all this shit. And then at the end, oh, it's finished. Spurs are finished. You know what I mean? Spurs are finished. I said that. Now people are talking about Spurs. Oh my word, bro. Like, look at this. It's absolutely crazy. Arsenal is dribbling my heart like Ronaldinho. Big up my man, Denzel. Where is he going to play? That is the case. Big up my man. Thank you so much. Hit the like button, people. Come on. It's 600 people in the house and we're just starting. Come on now. Hit that like button. What are you worried after Havertz got injured? He's your favorite player.
You just make me defend him all the time, but he's not my favorite player, but it's possibly his best contribution. And I've heard people saying that we should build a statue for him. So if we get Eze in the door, which it sounds like we have, yeah.
No, it's finished. It's finished. The deal is done, actually.
He was just pretending so that we sign someone, and I rate it. We needed more attackers. And the whole Trossard getting a pay rise with no extension was a bit weird, but I guess it makes sense now if we're going to try and.
Do you think he's still going to try to go for a left winger?
I didn't think we were going to get Eze, let alone a left winger. So if he can play there, we've probably got enough in a pinch, I would say. But
and the Arsenal move. The Arsenal move is favorites now.
No. Slow down.
Okay, Liverpool. Okay, Liverpool didn't get. Okay, hold on. Liverpool don't get Isak. They still Newcastle say he's not for sale. You get Eze. They are light in the front. They're still not with Gay. Yeah, you have to be favorites. Have some shame. Number one, I haven't done streams with you for a while, so I missed you, a friend. Appreciate you so much. Are Arsenal favorites?
You found your new thing, huh?
100%. You know that favorite thing is always been my thing.
If you want us to be favorites, Mo, we're favorites for the Champions League and the Premier League.
No, what do you think? What do you think?
Do
you think now you have a bigger? Do you think now? Okay, the word favorites is who do we think have the biggest margin here to win the Premier League? The league. I'm not talking about Champions League. Champions League is different. Champions League, it depends. You know, it depends. But if we're talking about Arsenal today, like, do you think you have the bigger margin to win the league?
Talking about Arsenal today or Arsenal yesterday?
Arsenal today. Now you signed Eze. Arsenal. Big up ads. Big up my friend. Like Arsenal today with Eze. Are you favorites? Big up ads. You know the news.
Yesterday we're dead. Today we're favorites. Like, I don't know. If there's somewhere in between that, like, I think it's a kind of a gray area. I would hesitate to say that we're favorites because Liverpool have so many good, experienced, quality players and they just won the league. So I'm still putting them as favorites. Sorry.
Really?
But I still win it. I just don't think that we're favorites.
You don't think you're okay? You think you're gonna win it, but you don't think you're favorites. That's the definition of being favorites. If you think you're winning it above,
no. There's a difference.
It's literally the definition of being favorites.
There's should win it, or there's winning against the odds. I think we're winning against the odds.
You think Arsenal are winning against the odds?
Against the
with
odds.
Eze signing one of the no. I'm not
gonna let you completely flip this, man. It's not like a pancake.
How am I flipping this? If Liverpool dreams are being shattered yesterday by Newcastle, and your dreams are coming alive by having Eze at your club, and you're telling me you're not favorites.
No.
I'm gonna let the rest of the panel do this.
Mo Salah, Virgil van Dijk, Alisson.
Mo Salah finished Mohamed Salah, old Van Dijk.
No, that's not. I didn't say that.
No, Martin, have some chest. Ads, what are you thinking?
Listen, I'm tired of Arsenal fans doing the whole, we're underdogs. It's against all the odds. You're like in phase 8. You've been doing this for how many years? Waiting to win a trophy. Like at this point, even winning a Carabao Cup and an FA Cup is nice. You guys need trophies, but you've been waiting this long, again, 20 plus years for a league title. Their whole lifetime as a club before a Champions League, they need to be one of these big trophies immediately. So there's no time for waiting. There's no time for underdogs. There's no time for, Liverpool are favourites. This team spent more money than us.
No. I still said we're going to win it. I didn't say that. I just said that we're not the favourites because of the squad and the managers. And
listen, I hear it, right? Like I hear it. If we were to like sort of like as analysts put away our biases and say who's the favourites, right? I can agree with Arsenal fans saying that Liverpool are slight favourites, but that's all they can be. It can only be slight favourites because Arsenal have been at the position ready to power to be champions for many years now. 3 years in a row finishing second.
No. Okay, hold on. No. I don't want to. Ads, I'm sorry to interrupt. Ads, sorry to interrupt. I don't want what Arsenal must and must not do. We all know that Arsenal have to win the league. I want to know who do you think the favourites to win the league? Like who's the team put now in the best position to win the Premier League?
That for me is still Liverpool. I still have Liverpool as favourites. But I feel like Arsenal, again, they should be right there. And they are right there for me. Again,
we got no excuses.
The last couple of years, what they needed to address was the attack. We need a striker. We're crying out for a striker. We're crying out for creativity. They've signed that. They've signed both of those players. And they bolstered and filled up their squad. Obviously, like the likes of Norgard, the likes of obviously Zubameni coming into midfield. So, like, you've got depth now. You've got Kai Havertz's depth as a striker. Even though he got injured, you still have depth around the squad. And now you've added some key pieces that add creativity, which is a big problem last season. You've added goals, a proper striker, which is a big problem last season, the last couple seasons. So now, of course, Arsenal are right there, and they should go and win the league. And that team, on paper, with the manager, with world-class Declan Rice, with the best defence in the world, why should they not win the league? So they should be putting up at least 92, 93 points minimum.
I mean, I agree with all that. I think that the teams are so close, like City,
The
Liverpool,
keeper is also
and
world
Arsenal.
class, by the way. That's what the tells. So the keeper is also world class.
Big up, Patrick. Big up.
up.
But I feel that the teams are so close that there's no excuse for any of the teams to not win it. Basically, like you've got enough tools in the shed. The only difference between the teams might be a couple of points. So yeah, you've got to basically win every game by hook or by crook, and try and stay in it, because no one's taking the foot off the accelerator. And I still think Liverpool's going to probably end up with Isak. So we've got stuff to deal with. And I think City, you guys are selling your last defenders, Ake and Akanji, I'm hearing.
Yeah, well, no, I think they're saying Akanji only. I think Akanji is the one who seems to be on the chopping board, but they have to. The team is too big, and Akanji obviously, I don't know why. Obviously, he's turned 30, and I think they look at him as the more profitable one, because the other defenders, mind you, they're on a 1 year. They're left with 1 year, and I think some of them just want to walk out. They would rather walk out than be sold. But Akanji's on a 3-year contract or a bigger contract, so I think he fetches money. I think that's the reason why people are surprised with some of these sales at Cities, because some of the players, they are like in their 30s and they're on a big contract. People think it's easy to just get rid of somebody, It's not. They can really say, look, man, I've got 1 year. I'm going to sit here. What are you going to do? But you're right, man. Everybody seems to be on fire. Because if you guys sign Eze, which looks like you're signing Eze, that's very strong for Arsenal, Everybody's strong. And even this thing where people are saying, somebody saying, Liverpool still walk the league. They're not walking shit. Nobody's walking anything. City ain't walking shit. Arsenal ain't walking anything. Nobody's walking anything in this league if you look at the players. And even the teams that are down there, even if you watch the matches with the big games, everybody seems to be gettable. You know what I mean? The defenses seem to be gettable. People seem to have found a solution that, some of these big teams are too cocky. They play a high line. We play the ball over the top. Obviously, Arsenal are very compacted, but it might also be a disadvantage that this thing where you don't want to attack after you score, it might get you in trouble if the other team scores by luck. But it's going to be interesting, man. I can't even pinpoint who. Even Spurs, as much as we laugh at them being Spursy, they look like they will be a threat because of the manager they have, Even United looks solid. The Cunha looks good. Mbeumo, we know that he always causes trouble to big teams. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a fantasy that Judge Moore has been looking for, because he says he wants competition. He was bored with City winning it all the time. So now he's going to have the competition he wants. But big up to Arsenal, man. Getting Eze is a flex.
Do you know what I don't understand about this deal? Arsenal are paying 68 million, which is the release clause. Like all summer, Arsenal are waiting. The release clause is fucking there.
Yeah, I think we just let Spurs negotiate terms for us. We were just letting Spurs do all of the chatting up. And then you just walk in there and you're like, okay, this is what it's going to be. We'll take her home. But I think we get favorable terms, as in like we'll pay less up front. I think the release clause needed 35 million in the first year or something. If we're hitting the target, I don't actually care how much it costs, to be honest. I just say let the money go and try and make it up with some sales later.
Do you still need a left winger? Or maybe you will deploy Eze there. Left, and obviously he'll play as the number 10. So basically he's going to be useful for you. So do you still need a left winger? Or you're like, you know what? Eze plays left sometimes for Crystal Palace and he plays very well. And he can also play the number 10 if Odegaard is having a stinker. So why are you looking at the left winger?
I think Gabriel Jesus is probably coming back in like 2 months or less. I can see him playing on the left wing when we need to.
I forgot about
I think Madueke can do it. Apparently Saka was left wing in training with Madueke right wing for a bit today. So they're playing around with stuff. I don't think that we want to go out and spend any more money, that's for sure.
Trossard. Sorry, I forgot. You've got
Trossard, yeah. But other people will disagree. People want Rodrygo or something. I would have taken Leao, but again, you're talking like 130 million or something. So there's just not.
I actually still think that Rodrygo's on the table for Arsenal.
I see him going to Liverpool.
It depends. If Liverpool sign Isak, I don't think he goes there.
No.
It depends. I see him going to Liverpool if they don't get Isak, which is... And by the way, this is Martin. I'm just telling you guys now, there is now news that Gabriel Martinelli might be leaving, just to let you know. Saudi Arabia clubs are one club ready to pay 80 million for his service, 80 million pounds.
Talk to me, Mo. Talk to me. This is
getting. I'm being serious. This is that now, guys. This is now. What, Jerry? How are you doing? Welcome.
I'm good. What's going on?
Good.
How we doing?
Good?
How we doing, people?
You good?
We got-
What you
I'm
look
good, man.
shook. I don't know why.
No, shook. No, I'm just tired, man. I'm good.
Okay, let me do this super chat. Guys, hit that like button. We got 1,000 people in the house, so hit that like button, people, if you are news. Guys, I swear to God, it's already like, it's 7 minutes ago. Saudi Arabia clubs are circulating around Gabriel Martinelli. One club is ready to offer 80 million for his service. The option is there if Arsenal decide to cash in. It's right. That news is right there. You can literally go check it. It already has 200,000 views, like on Twitter. It's not me. I literally believe that maybe Berta's working his magic. Maybe. Omar is saying Forest window bigger than Spurs. Savinho to Spurs on or off. It's still not off. It depends on Rodrygo as well, Omar. It depends on Rodrygo. Martinelli to Saudi Arabia for 80 million. Yes. Okay. Brilliant.
That's robbery. But anyway,
Son, the thing.
That's not robbery. That's not robbery, bro.
it is.
If we don't get Rodrygo or Isak, Arsenal favorites for me. Yes. Yes. Liverpool are light
Favorites to do what?
to win the league.
To get a clean sheet.
Let me be honest and 100%. Arsenal.
Here comes the banter then. Comes the
There's
banter.
no banter. I am not being serious. Every single season, man are selling me this script. Arsenal are favorite. Arsenal are serious. Look at that. Last season, they were supposed to just easily win because City were in problems. Guess what? They got bopped by a Liverpool team that just came out of nowhere with a new manager. I'm sorry. Arsenal might be one of the favorites, but you cannot just give them that they will run with anything. They ain't running with shit. This team has an issue, by the way, which I have been saying for years, and people always collect me. If you go back to the history of Arsenal, as we say, we go back to the history of Spurs, they always seem sometimes to struggle at a certain period when pressure hits. They also have that period. And Arsenal fans, some of them admit, there's an Arsenal fan who admitted to me, he's like, you're right. We've always struggled at the point in time when even the time when Leicester, we had to compete with Leicester for the league. I was actually in Arsenal's corner, by the way. I was like, please don't let Leicester embarrass the league. Please don't let the Arsenal, again, started draws, this and that. Like last season, there was a moment where I actually thought, okay, Arsenal will get close to Liverpool. They're the only hope we have. Nah, the hope went to shit. And then everybody started saying they're focusing on the Champions League. I'm sorry to tell you, Omar, just remove the Arsenal favorites. I'd rather put Man United to come back as favorites. And it's not that
Why? Why?
I just feel like Arsenal have this thing where you see, like when somebody is, it looks perfect, but it's not perfect. I don't know if I have to use that saying. Or they will be hyped saying, oh, look at this. They will do this, but they will never actually achieve that somehow. They never really achieve it. They just become the bridesmaid or something. And it's not an insult to Arsenal fans. It's been happening until you win. That's when I'll be confused. I'm sorry, but according to the history, it's not. You always end up second. Recently, you always ended up falling apart. So sorry.
Arsenal can do no good for you for them to be up there.
Thank you. They can't until they
they cannot. Like, it doesn't matter what Arsenal do. They cannot be up there because they haven't won the league for you. Doesn't matter.
Yes, they have to. They have to win the league. I've gone.
No, forget they have to and they must and all the stuff. So Arsenal can do nothing for you to believe that they will win the league. Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Do you guys know how crazy this sounds?
It's been like this for years. Where I was actually back in Arsenal. Remember, I was coming on this panel saying I think there's hope. I think they will do it, but they can't finish. I'm sorry.
You know what happened? Wenger did 3 years second in a row, and we stole a player from Spurs, and then went on to win the league. Sol Campbell. So I'm taking this Eze thing as a good omen that we're about to repeat history and break the duck here. But anyone who's hoping to win the league has to get close before they can win the league. You don't just go from 5th to 1st. That doesn't happen. So I think this is just silly talk where people will say mentality, they can't win, they can't get over the line in the hopes of us not doing it. But they better not let us win something big because we won't shut up. And
I hope you win. By the way, look.
You don't really.
No. I genuinely was hyping you guys for the Champions League. I was like, let them win something. I was like, let them clock something. But you've sort of disappointed me also, because even the time when you were competing with us, I was like, oh my God, I was sweating. I think I came on this panel. It was January, and I was like, oh my God, they're going to do it. You convinced me that you're going to walk away with it, and then you just went shit, and then somehow.
Damn, are we ignoring the fact all what happened in last season and everything? Why didn't you walk away with it? The league, you spent 200 million in January. Why didn't you walk away with it then? Why didn't you catch up to Liverpool? You have the best manager in the world. Don't tell me we walked away with it a year ago or 2 years ago. Why didn't you walk away with it last season?
Let me explain to you, right?
But you had Haaland.
Do you know the difference between this whole thing where you are defending Arsenal? Do you know the reason
why? By the way, the panel can back me here, Patrick. I'm not defending Arsenal.
Okay, wait. So let me land on this. Do you know why I can? You know why I can easily come here and say it's okay, I had a bad season, and people will look at me and say fair. It's because I am a winner.
100%. 100%.
These guys are bridesmaids. I'm sorry, I'm not being offensive.
Nobody's arguing.
Do you know what I want? I'm telling you, Arsenal fans, I don't hate your club. Regardless, you guys sometimes come for us. I actually have a soft spot for you guys. Please, I beg you, just win it. Because last season, I genuinely had my cards on you when we were struggling, when City were going to shit. And I remember I predicted that City are going to struggle because we've got a lot of odd players, the legs are done. When we were struggling, I said, oh my God, Arsenal, this is on a silver plate for you. Because
we had like everyone injured. We lost all our attackers. We lost Gabriel for the UCL.
I just believe that your defense is solid. And the other teams, that defense didn't look that great. You looked so solid. You played solid football. But at the end, you fumbled again. I know that you had the injuries, but it's just that look. It's the fact that now the Knights, because I used to argue with a lot of people. They used to say, do you know that winning this matters? Winning it recently or actually getting over the line matters. I was saying, no, piss off. It doesn't matter. Arsenal are going to bump this one because we are struggling. Guess what? Experience matters.
Let's just leave this all in the past.
Look at that. Liverpool came up and easily, with their experience and the backbone, they won it. So this is why I'm saying maybe these Arsenal players need to get over the line with Arteta. Arteta needs to get over the line.
And no one is arguing this.
Yeah, when he gets the monkey off his back, and then we can rate you. But for the meantime, when I look at Arsenal, I just look at, these guys are not serious. Even though they get so and so, it's just still comedy. That's what I say.
Okay, we're unserious.
But that narrative is fair to have for the longest time because they weren't actually being serious in the market when it was time to actually show it. But now they've shown it. They've gone and got the striker. They've gone and stole Eze off of a rival, at least their own North London rival. So fair play. They've done it. But now you have to deliver. Because, again, Patrick has many right points there. Because, again, we've seen him so many times where it looks like when the pressure is actually on Arsenal, when the expectation is there to actually go and win something, they fail. When they're underdogs, they actually do pretty well. When they were underdogs against Real Madrid, they battered them. But, okay, now we expect you to do something against PSG. They fumbled. We saw it last season. Every single time Liverpool dropped points and there's a chance for Arsenal to actually close the gap, they drop points. So again, that's just
you see what you said. Sorry, you see what you say. I think that's what I was missing to say. That's the same thing with the City thing where they were competing with City. Do you remember when City dropped points? I used to say, then Arsenal would go and draw. Do you remember? Yeah. They'll go and draw or lose. So you're right. Keep going. Sorry.
But that was the theme. It's just now, again, themes can change. Again, you can buck a trend. Again, Leicester buck the trend of you have to challenge for a league to win it. They actually just won it out of nowhere. That is a general theme that you have to challenge sometimes to go and win it. But now, Arsenal have all the cards. There can be no more excuses. There can be no, but City are too good. But we didn't sign the striker. You've got everything you need. It doesn't matter what Liverpool are doing across the road. You've got all the players that you need. You've got a manager who's been there for how many years. So now, it's time to deliver. Simple as that.
The thing is, there will always be an excuse in it. Like unfortunately, there will always be an excuse, and that's for any team. But there will be. If Liverpool sign Isak, then it will be, oh my God, Liverpool went and spent so much money. They've got the best striker in the world. There's nothing that you can do towards that. And I know it because I know amongst Liverpool fans that was the argument against City. There was always an excuse as to why Liverpool didn't do it. I mean, it's difficult for fans at times to look intrinsically or look within themselves and be like, within the club and be like, all right, cool. How did we muck up? Why did we not win this? There's always an excuse. There's Saliba was out. It's Gabriel's injured. Osaka's out. But there's always reasons as to why something doesn't happen. And of course, those reasons are valid, right? But ultimately, and I said this before when I was on this show, until Arsenal do it, they haven't done it. So there should be no ratings as to whether they can do it or not. And then when you do it, it's like, all right, you've done it now. And I think that's the space Arsenal are in. Liverpool were in that situation for a long time where it was like, you're bubbling, but you ain't done it yet. So Liverpool had to do it. And it's when they've done it, that's when we won the Champions League. It's when everyone went, okay, Liverpool, they're a serious contender. We finished top 4, but we won the Champions League.
Wasn't it the same for City in the UCL? Wasn't it the same with the City UCL?
Yeah.
Everybody was telling us that until you do shut up, we don't believe you. We don't believe you.
Exactly. We don't believe you. It's not European heritage. We haven't got this, you haven't got that until you go and do it. And I think Arsenal need to kind of just do it, and they need to ride out this period where people they're not gonna respect you, which is fair, but you can use that.
Any excuses. There's no.
But I want to switch this, Martin. I'm tired of the conversation about they must. We all know Arsenal should win the league. But what about, do you guys think that Arsenal have the tools to win the league? I think that football-wise, forget the banter. Forget they must win the league. Like I want a footballing opinion. People are tired of us as panelists and us as YouTubers and just come here and go to other shows and say Arsenal must. We all know this. Arsenal must. Arteta 6 years. You have to sign this guy. You have to stay. Do we think Arsenal can actually win the title this season? Do they have the talent required to win the Premier League?
I think their defense.
If I can just go first on this, right? Again, everybody knows the defense is great. They've signed them some attackers. That's all well and good, right? They have the tools to do it. They can win the league. The reason why I don't think they're going to win the league is that midfield, bro. And for me, that is the elephant in the room. People aren't talking about the fact that midfield lacks a lot. It lacks a lot on and off the ball. I'm sorry, like people don't talk about the fact that creativity-wise, they were so poor last season. And again, you look at it against Man United. Again, it's one sample size, but you also look at pre-season and how they ended last season. There's so many things that midfield lacks. And people want to talk about, Declan Rice is world-class. Odegaard's been world-class other than one season. Superman's like a top-class player. But as a combination, maybe it might look good on paper, but I'm sorry, but what I've seen of those guys last season, when it was Partey who had a good season by all accounts last season, that midfield was lacking a lot of creativity. It was lacking a lot of punch. It was lacking a lot of actual central progression. That's why their wide progression was one of the best in the league in terms of getting it down to the right-hand side. But in the midfield, it was poor. It was amongst one of the worst in the league. I don't think it's going to get that much better this season, I'll be honest. And again, you saw Declan Rice against Man United, against a team that you'd expect Declan Rice to impose himself. And I'm sorry, but he doesn't. I mean, set pieces, he'll do his thing. Off the ball, who might win the ball and every now and then and have some good driving runs when there is space to actually drive. But when the game is congested, you get nothing from him on that left-hand side. Is Eze going to improve that left-hand side that much? We'll see, but I don't know how they're going to deploy him. I don't know if they're going to overlap Lewis Skelly and have Eze sort of invert to like a left turn, have Rice drop into Zubamendi, because that's what they should do. Rice next to Zubamendi would actually be a much better outfit. But how they're looking right now in that midfield, I'm sorry, bro, but that's not a title winning midfield for me.
I don't think the Man United game is a good reference point because they just bypassed the entire midfield the whole game and just kicked it over our heads, right? And we tried to play the same thing, ended up being a basketball game. But I don't think there's many more balanced midfields except maybe Chelsea in the entire league because we've got Zubamendi, we've got Rice, we've got Odegaard. They all have their roles, they have their specialties. And if we're doing it right and we're playing it properly, like maybe as a double pivot, everyone gets to do their favorite thing. But for sure, like there's always areas that we can improve. And definitely the midfield needs to gel together because Zubi just got here and it's going to be hard to replace Partey's influence on the team, which I think people denied. But one sec, sorry, man.
Wait, I don't get people. You know, this is the thing is, I see a lot of people disappointed in the comments. You want us to lie to you. You know, this is in life. I know people are like, oh, boring, same thing. But what do you want us to say? To lie to you? Do you want me to tell you that there is hope? Do you want me to tell you that Gyökeres will win the Golden Boot? You guys will win a treble? Do you want me to? I'm just telling you the truth. It's like I was on your corner. I've been on your corner. I was on your corner last season. But I sat down and say, I keep getting into Arsenal's corner since the Leicester versus Arsenal.
We don't want you in the corner. We don't want you in the corner.
Yeah, no, you don't get it. It's just that when we're analyzing all this, you sit down and say, oh, okay, we keep saying Spursy, but I was like, there's also a trend at Arsenal where they failed to get the job done. There's a sample size that
guys, by the way, it's a here we go.
Here we go.
Well done. Here
for Arsenal, by the just to let you guys
know. Here we go either, which doesn't count. It's an Arsenal. Here we go. So it won't get reneged like Morgan years away.
I feel sorry for Spurs though. They battered him up, and
I don't feel sorry. For
Morgan Gibbs Whitefield. Now it's Eze. Like, who are they going to go for next? Because there's not a lot of number 10 winger players they're looking for. Because I think they're looking for somebody who covers that hole that Maddison has left. So
maybe they can get Paqueta.
What? Oh yeah.
That's from West Ham.
Yeah, he wants to leave.
That'd be difficult after getting Kudus. That'd be difficult.
That's true.
What happened? What happened to the Kudus? Was it a very bad deal?
No, but obviously the Tottenham, West Ham, the relations aren't great. Fans weren't happy about that at all.
Can I tell you guys something for real? The midfield that you guys are talking about, as was talking about Zubamendi, Rice, Odegaard, and now Eze with Norgard and Mikel Merino. I think the names there is one of the best, should be the best, one of the best midfield depth in the league. In terms of
balance, that's why I disagreed. I think in terms of numbers and balance, I actually think it is the
and
best
one area
midfield.
as well.
I don't think Arsenal's problem is the midfield personnel.
No, but can I interject here, Jerry, for one thing? I think the problem is if Martin Odegaard doesn't perform, they didn't have anybody else. Now adding Eze, okay.
But I don't think it's that, because again, going to like Eze could play on the left, right? We just don't know how he's going to be deployed, right? But ultimately, I think what the problem is, it's more tactical, right? When you've got fullback inverting, right, in Miles Lewis-Skelly at times, and then you've got Rice getting forward and trying to, crash the box, and then you've got Ben White that's not going to really create anything like that, or Julian Timber, like really, really good right backs. I think they're good, but they're not no creative wizards, right? It means that you are relying a lot on Saka and Odegaard. You are going to be lopsided. Now, if Eze goes and plays on that side, I think you might get individual creativity out of him. But I think it's still a system. But it's a system issue still. It's a system issue. If they're still in the same areas, if you've still got the players in the same areas, what you're now expecting is the missed chances that Martinelli gets, Eze can maybe capitalize on them. But that's for me, that's not a sustainable solution. You need to look at ways in which Arsenal can systematically break down teams, and they showed that they could do it a couple of seasons ago. But there's obviously been a shift towards this more defensive, solid style of football, which again, defenses win titles, and they could. But I think on the flip side, you need Gyökeres to, as Patrick said, to get the goals. And for me, I think with the way Arsenal play, Havertz actually suits them better, and they would have been better off getting a Leao, as you went and said, where you've got a Leao and Saka that go and get you all the goals, and Havertz is that extra body in midfield. Because I think build-up wise, you were fine, but the problem is you had no one inside the box because Martinelli was getting inside the box.
Sorry, JJ. The thing about that is that we become too predictable if we're like, everyone knows that we don't have a striker when we're playing with Havertz, right? I think it was even Nuno Espirito Santo who said, yeah, we didn't have anyone in the middle because they don't have a striker. So if we aren't able to change the script completely, where we put Gyökeres in the middle and then we've got creativity trying to feed him rather than relying on the wingers to get our goals, like I think we're in a much better position.
I mean, it's true. And again, it could work. If Gyökeres gets the goals, he gets the goals, right? Because you just need someone getting the goals. But when I go and look at how Liverpool were the most successful, they had Salah and Mane on the side that you knew were going and getting the goals. Bobby weren't getting the goals like that and did chip in, and you knew how Liverpool were going to play, and you still couldn't stop them because they were that good. And ultimately, if you are that good and your system is that good, Saka still gets his, and he gets his every single season. If you had Saka on the other side getting his, you wouldn't be speaking about the goals that you're missing from forward, because I'm pretty sure Havertz got 16 goals last season.
In all comps, I think he got 9 in the league, but he was injured for like 3 or 4 months. But
and that's my point. And that's
we need to be able to change that setup so that, maybe 100%. Odegaard's not cooking. Eze comes in and we're doing Zubamendi, Rice, and Eze, and then we're changing the way we're focusing our attacks. We just need to be less predictable, because as much as people say, we played free-flowing football in 22-23 and half of 23-24, teams know how to play us. Like Man United, for example, they changed the way they played just to counter pretty much everything that we were going to throw at them. And we're facing that with teams all the time now. So we're not going to be able to – Saka's going to get triple teamed, then that game plan's dead. We need 4 or 5 game plans that we can switch to in these.
That's true. The only thing is replacing an Odegaard with an Eze doesn't really change it up. That just gives you another option if someone's off form. The only way you're really mixing it up is
play together when we need a goal, or
what?
We can
change. Jerry, say that again.
I'm saying if you're taking Odegaard out of the team to go and put an Eze in, the way you play doesn't change. You're just telling Eze to play.
It does.
No. If they're playing in the same position, no, it doesn't.
It does. It does.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
I can explain.
In what way?
Okay, Eze is a different type of an Odegaard. Odegaard is more of a passer. It's more of a pass move, get the ball, get it, keep it ticking. Eze is more of a ball carrier. We watched him against Chelsea. He carried the ball every time about 20 to 40 yards, every time at his feet, dribbling and getting past players. 100%. Arsenal don't do this. Like one of the main problems at Arsenal is that they don't have that guy. And let me give you the difference between there are wingers that are tricky and everything, and there are wingers like Rafa Leao that they get the ball, they go at you, that pins
Direct,
the defensive.
100%.
Yes, you know that. You coach football and you know exactly the difference between a technical midfielder in passing and diagonals and through balls and a midfielder like a Morgan Rogers. For example, I'm Eze, Morgan Rogers, Musiala. These guys will pick the ball, they look to be direct to go to score, not to assist someone. Eze is a very different player.
No.
Very, Foden, yes. Foden is
but
not looking to pass, is looking to get the closest distance to the goal, Jerry.
That's true. The difference is, and then again, this is systematic. I'm saying it works if Eze plays out on the left, because Eze gives you a different dynamic than if you had the Martinelli. But if you are telling Eze to play in that Ødegaard role, right, and teams are sitting back against Arsenal, again, stop looking at the United game, because the United game, it's tough. First game at Old Trafford, United are going to be up for it. That's not going to be 90% of the games that Arsenal face. 90% of the games are going to be teams sitting in against Arsenal, because Arsenal pen teams back with the way they go and pass. If you listen to Ola Aina speaking about Arsenal, it's we're penned in and the ball's going left, right, over the top. And we're just camped in this low block, hoping to get you in the counter.
So you're saying Eze now will end up like the same way when
if there's no space to carry the ball, if there's no space to carry the ball, he's still going to have to be a passer. Of course, in transition,
but he can add a bit more shooting. I think he's got a little bit more of an outside of the box threat to him than Ødegaard.
No, 100%, he might have that, but ultimately, and this is what I talk about, if the instructions from the manager are still keep it moving and keep it ticking and do this and do that.
Eze have something else. Eze can shoot. Eze can shoot from outside. So if there is a low block, Eze can create that half space, half yard, and then shoot. Ødegaard doesn't do this.
Yeah, I know.
And nobody at Arsenal do this. Rice don't do this.
That's true.
That's why Eze is different.
So when you say no one does it, there has to be a reason. Why does no one do it? Yes,
because they don't have it. No, because they don't have the talent. With all due respect, Jerry.
Because
they don't have the talent. They don't have the talent.
That's
nonsense. They don't have the. Wallahi lazim, they don't have the talent.
I'm telling you, that's nonsense. That's nonsense.
How is that nonsense, Jerry?
That's an instruction.
No, it's not only.
That's an instruction.
I don't think Ødegaard.
I guarantee
for example,
you.
I'm telling you my opinion. Ødegaard, for example, doesn't have the same shooting ability as someone like a McAllister or like an Eze. I'm watching Ødegaard. He's good. He has to be very close. Like, for example, Eze can shoot from like 25 yards. McAllister score from 25 yards. Ødegaard, he isn't like that guy that will create that half a yard from 30 yards and
I agree.
Like shoot. You know that.
Now, how often? Now,
then you can see the difference.
Now, how many long range goals does McAllister score a season? Because Jurgen Klopp spoke about this a lot when they spoke about why don't Liverpool midfielders shoot at the time. So how many long range goals did McAllister score?
I don't know, like three last season.
He probably scores one from outside the box, one or two max, right? So what I'm saying is, yes, that one or two max.
Yeah, but shooting from outside the box doesn't only give you the goals, by the way, Jerry.
Course,
it's not.
But I'm saying,
it puts pressure on the opposition. It gets defensive out. But Jerry, you're not listening to me.
No, I am, because I'm hearing you out. But what I'm saying is, and this is what I was going to my point, right? Jurgen Klopp spoke about, and statistically, right, you give the ball away more, right, when you shoot from outside of the box than you do not. I am not saying there's not a time and place to go and do it. Hence, I go back to my point. Eze will go, and his individual quality might go and give you something different. But if the instructions are still the same, where Arteta says, like Jurgen Klopp used to say, do not shoot from outside of the box, even if it's there. Work it out wide to try and get it inside the box, right? And it goes back to instructions.
So it doesn't matter if you sign Ronaldinho then. It doesn't matter if you sign Ronaldinho then. What you are saying, because Arsenal struggle because the triangle, they're obsessed with the triangle passing instead like working. But I believe that he's not stupid. They're not going to go and sign someone like Eze, who actually carries the ball and does something outside of the box, for him to tell him, by the way, Eze, keep it ticking.
But there's another thing that Eze's really good at,
I have an example. Jack Grealish at City. What did they say? Arteta is also stubborn as Pep. Jack Grealish at City.
Arteta's nothing like Pep.
He was a free. Nah, I think they're both stubborn.
Okay, but there's one main difference with Eze and Ødegaard. Ødegaard's designed to keep the ball moving, control possession. Eze is used to hitting Mateta on the fly when he's making a run on the halfway line, which is what Gyökeres is going to try and do. So he's going to connect much more in a counter-attacking sense than Odegaard does.
But the manager will tell him there's a possibility he might end up as a Jack Grealish.
Bear in mind, I'm saying.
Even if the manager wants him
to finish off,
right, it's his skill set. It's Eze's skill set to take risk, right? And that's the difference between Arteta and Pep. Pep's always managed these kind of maverick players. He managed them at Barcelona, at Bayern Munich. This is the first time we're seeing Arteta actually go out of his way to sign maverick players. I got a proper number 9, a maverick in Eze. So yes, the system, Jerry's point is absolutely right. The system is quite pragmatic. It's been different over the years. But again, somebody like Eze will change in terms of what they do in the final third. He will take more risks. He will add more to the attack, and he would actually do more risk. Yes, the system might still be pragmatic, and obviously we have to see how that adapts. But if you're going to play Eze in a left-hand position, best believe he's going to do what he can to get shots off by cutting inside and letting off shots. He
can't play in the left 10 because of Declan Rice ads.
But that's my point, right? That's why I said the midfield, how it works.
Exactly.
To Jerry's point, the system isn't great. And if you don't adapt it by dropping Rice deeper, having the left back provide the width, and moving Eze inside, for me, I don't see how it works. I don't see what's great about this signing.
You could do Rice as a 6, Odegaard and Eze. We can rotate them around. Depending on who we're up against, we may need more attacking and more defending. But
it should be a box.
I've got a feeling Zubimendi is the guy for Arteta.
Box midfield. It should be a box midfield.
Say that again. How?
I said it should be like a box midfield of Eze, Odegaard at the top, and then you have Rice and Zubimendi at the base of it with like a left back, whether that's Lewis Skelly or Calafiori, adding the width on the left hand side. Because Arsenal's left wingers are dead. The left wingers are dead. Eze is not a proper left winger. He's good. He's all right on the left, but you don't want to just have him on the touchline eating up.
You don't. You can have overlapping Calafiori there, who is very good at it.
That's my point.
You can play Eze. Like there is.
What we have now is options which we didn't have before. Before we had Sterling and a guy called Kukuri on the bench in the semi-finals of the Champions League. There's no way to change that team. We were just too one-dimensional. So
but to be fair,
now there's no excuses for the manager to not change.
But to be fair, when we speak about obviously being one-dimensional and stuff, goes back to my point. He had Nwaneri sitting on the bench that was doing really, really well at that moment in time. He did not go and do that. So the option was to potentially play both of them at times. There was an option to go, but he refrained from doing so. Now, maybe Nwaneri is not good enough, but I think he is.
It's not that he's not good enough. He still did over 1,000 minutes in the Premier League, right? For 18-year-old.
Actually, yes. No. He played. No, he played. But I'm saying what to the point of playing with that box midfield and having the option to play both of them. How often did Odegaard and Nwaneri start games?
It's impossible to play that box midfield.
I don't think Nwaneri's ready for the Odegaard role yet. I think he needs a bit more time. He's looked better out wide. When he's been central, he hasn't looked like he's really understood the whole press, defensive leadership side of it. It's not just like creating passes. It's like there's more that Odegaard does for the team. So it's not that.
It's impossible to play that, in my opinion.
It's really not. You can just overlap the left back and have them hold the width. It's very simple.
Yeah, it's unless you play the winger. The box midfield happened by a fullback. Yeah, that wouldn't add anything.
The left back would add the width. You have Saka already holding the width on the right hand side, and you move Eze inside.
Yeah,
and a lot of teams play that system.
You can try that, to be honest, but I think Arteta's gonna do this. To be honest, it's not gonna be a box midfield. Eze is gonna be like a behind the forward guy coming from the left, like they do, like he does at Crystal Palace.
So a second striker type. Is that what we're
kinda? Let me do this super chat. Tevin, thank you so much. Been a while since a super chat. No, thank you, Tevin. But today has been a nice day. How is it a nice day if your favorite player, Tevin, Kai Havertz, got injured? Also, always great to see you on streams, Patrick, and I'm proud of you and your fight. Stay up, brother. You are an inspiration to all of us.
Big up, Patrick.
Thank you, man. Thank you very much, man.
Yeah, big up, Tevin. Thank you so much. Yeah, big up, of course, Patrick, for all this stuff. And sorry for what is fucking going on in the background. I know.
Don't worry about it, man. I'm positive.
It's funny how Arsenal fans now love Indy. Yesterday they didn't.
This KFC merchant's writing like novels every time. Like he's just guessing what's happening. And
he's actually now writing a story about this guy fighting with this guy like behind the scenes. And I'm like,
yeah, apparently Eze was like got the news in the car and he yelled yes really loudly. Like he doesn't know this information. He's just making himself look silly.
There is a famous phrase, never say never.
Wait, who's the KFC merchant?
In the 22-23 or 23-24 season, goals from outside. Yes, Arsenal scored goals from outside. The problem is now, does that make Arsenal now ahead of City though with Eze though? Basically.
To me, yeah.
To you, yes. To a lot of people, no.
No.
People drew conclusions from the first game. You guys know that from the Man United game.
Do you know?
People assume that City will play Wolves every week and Arsenal will play Man United away every week. This is gonna be a 38 game season where Arsenal every game are gonna go play Man United away, and Liverpool are gonna play Bournemouth at home every day. This is it. This is every game week. This is it. And Baba, I'm gonna go Chelsea as well. People assume that Chelsea are gonna play a low block Crystal Palace every week. Fine, great, it's fine.
Do you know what's funny though? This is what I'm telling people. Where we are right now. I'm going to say this, obviously, nobody's going to predict how all this goes. Because first of all, we also have to remember all these teams have welcomed newcomers to the team. Even Liverpool fans, I told them, you've welcomed Wirtz to your team. Things are different. Wirtz wants the ball a lot. While in your team, Salah is always the guy who you give the ball to. Now it has to be Wirtz. Wirtz is the creator. And then if you go to Arsenal, system has to change. There's Eze coming in. How are they going to go with Gyökeres? If it goes to Man United, there's Cunha, there's Bomba, there's the guy that bought what's his name, the striker, I keep forgetting his name, Sesko. And at City, there's how are we going to play Rangers? How are we going to play
Turkey, all of that way. Yeah.
Everybody right now needs to come down your right. Nobody's gonna play Wolves where Wolves were just offside the whole time. Arsenal might go through if it's another team like Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace is finishing those Wolves games. They're not going to be offside. Just look at things. Even Bournemouth against Liverpool, I saw flaws a bit. Are they going to play a team that's going to give up a bit after it's 2-2? Like all of us have got questions. I think let's just calm down, wait for 10 games, and see how things go. Because everyone has a new player there and
10 games. You want me to wait for 10 games?
Yes,
so we should stop doing content for 10 games.
No.
And wait for
all I'm saying is we'll obviously be doing content and we'll obviously always be saying I'm favored, I'm better. But I think we'll see the truth after 10-ish games. I think we'll see which team is settled, which team is going towards a certain. But you know what's funny? I'm so scared about this season that I also think even a team that goes forward, some team, the new players might not gel. Funny enough, you find January comes in or December comes in, the new guys gel in January and they go on a run. That can also happen. Even Chelsea is not being given the respect. I am fearful a bit of Chelsea. I feel like they have gelled as a team. I feel like as bad as Chelsea, people saying looked against Crystal Palace, I didn't watch the game. I just feel like Chelsea have gelled as a team, and we also have to be wary what they'll do. That's why
it wasn't drawing with Palace, they were going to be world champions. That was the last data point. Was they beat PSG.
You see?
So now they've drawn with Crystal Palace. It's balanced out a little bit.
I'm telling you, it's going to be interesting, and I think we'll be shocked who comes up on top because I think people are predicting, but we'll be shocked. And you know what? Just talking about Eze, I missed the statement. What statement did he write that has filmed everybody? I can't find it. I've tried to look for it.
What?
I thought they're saying he wrote something on his social media. That's why
Newcastle.
No, not Eze. What's it? Isak. Isak.
And I'm like, what is going on?
No. So Isak wrote something, but I can't find it on Twitter.
Bro, Liverpool fans are upset.
Why?
They are, bro. Some people are just upset, bro. They're upset that Newcastle literally told him, "Come back to daddy." They literally, in their statement, they said, "Come back to daddy." My son, come back.
But
You're homeless now.
Newcastle is fuming, and Newcastle fans are calling him a rat. I saw a video of them calling him a rat.
But they are not now. They're not now. But anyway,
the club did the right thing and made a statement. Well, in my opinion, they made the statement and made it clear where their stance is. But it could be an interesting legal battle. I think the whole thing's turned into a mess.
100%. My man here, man, is saying, with City pull back, will Pep have a new romance? Again, Mina, you're excluding Arsenal for some whatever reason. I don't know it, but you're excluding Arsenal for some reason.
You don't know the City relationship. There's a relationship with City.
It's all like City and Paul are kind of. Do you guys
hate it?
Okay, so we spoke about Eze people. Do you guys see the news about now Chelsea are moving, like 2 clubs are moving at once? It's literally the news is saying Chelsea, Strasbourg are interested in Enciso. Like this is, I've never seen this shit in my life. In my life. Wallah, I've been watching football for a while. Never seen headline news like this in my life. Chelsea, I've never seen it in my life. But anyway, it is what it is. Before we talk about Liverpool, what did you make of Chelsea at this weekend? And how do you see the season going?
Listen, we played against. Listen, obviously, I expect us to win our home games. We should be winning our home games again. I want us to win the league, so that's a game we got to win. We will pull, we will off it. And if you play against a good team like Palace, that can happen. And everybody here on this panel knows what Palace can do against the top team.
Yeah.
It's not a thing that they got to the final of the FA Cup, let alone beat City, let alone come back from 2-0 down to even get to penalties against Liverpool. So we know they're a good team. We know that in that 5-4-1 formation off the ball, that's a problem for anybody. So it was difficult, especially first half. We were the slightly better team. I think a draw was a fair result because ultimately we didn't create that many chances, and then the chances that we did have, we should have done better with it. So it is what it is. It's up to us really to take our chances. We didn't take our chances. We didn't create enough. I think that game definitely highlights what we miss in a centre back that can actually break the lines, because our defensively we did keep a clean sheet. Even though we were lucky, let's be honest, the free kick should have been a goal. Bit of a technicality in the rule, and also our goalkeeper just doing what he does again. But thank you for the World Cup. I mean, I appreciate being able to say that I'm a world champion here. Nobody else can really say that. That's great. But Sanchez is not the guy to win you a Premier League title. Again, I've been watching Premier League football for a long enough time to know that nobody's won the Premier League with a goalkeeper that flaky. And if we do it, hey, I would love to say, Fami, you prove me wrong, but I just don't see teams win a league with a goalkeeper like that. But again, that aside, we miss a centre back to actually break the lines, and obviously we need to go and sign a centre back for sure. And again, in the attack, while of course we've had the conversations about how I love our attack, I love the variety, I love how there's different guys who can skin you in many different ways. It's great, but we need goals, and we need Palmer to step up on a consistent basis. Again, he can't be going on the droughts that he's been going on in the Premier League. It just can't be happening, and we obviously need other attackers to step up. So, am I concerned? Not really. It just highlighted some of the concerns that I had last season. But again, it's way too early to be panicking. Palace are a good team. It can happen. But obviously, we can't afford to have too many nights off it like that. So what it is, we move on to the next. And we should be battering West Ham next. That should be an easy game. We should be absolutely battering them.
You should be worried if you don't beat West Ham next week, to be honest.
That would be a worry if we don't beat them for sure. But again,
I think you not need to put more pressure on the Lap and those guys to help Palmer with the goals, because I think there's only so much Palmer can really be expected to do without being marked out of the game too much.
No, I agree. That's where my confidence from the season comes, is that we went from having only Nicholas Jackson, who isn't even a proper striker. Now listen, I like the guy, but he was never a proper striker. This guy didn't have an academy of football playing as a striker, right? So he did what he did, but he wasn't a proper striker. And now we've got two proper strikers. So that's where a lot of my confidence comes in. You're right. The Lap, Pedro, these guys got to be adding goals. I look at our wing, and my wings is my big thing right now, because obviously on the right you have Neto and Esteval, and Neto has had a pretty good 2025, but he needs to add goals to his game. I think Esteval is one of the most exciting young talents in world football, but again, he's only 18 years old. He will have some good moments, but he's not going to be someone that you can say, oh, is he going to be on the par?
What do you mean, like the most exciting young talents? Is it like Lamine Yamal? Like I watched him at the Club World Cup. I watched him at Chelsea friendlies. I watched him in the first game. Is he like Yamal, Desiree Doué? Like, is that how much talent the guy has?
Lamine's in his own board, because Lamine's Lamine. He's the best player in the world, and is
he like a Musiala ilk player? Like,
if you look at players in that age group, we look at Desiree Doué and guys like that. I feel like he can get to that level. He's that good, and he can be even better. To be honest, like he's top quality. But again, he's only 18. This is his first time playing football in this continent, so he needs time. Again, to say that he's going to be delivering numbers similar to a Salah, to a Saka, we have to wait on that. But my point is that, okay, we have him, you have Neto, you have Gittins, maybe Simons comes in, that might change things a little bit, but we haven't got a lot of proven goals in those positions. It's proven talents. I like the talents. I don't like the Garnacho talent. That better not happen. But it's talents there. But obviously we need goals, because again, we've seen our defense in 2025 has actually been pretty good, but in terms of goals, especially Palmer's goals dry up, we need other guys to obviously chip in. And I think our strikers will do a good job. Obviously, we need the wings to really add moments of magic, win us games. Because again, Liverpool's wingers, they will do that. Gakpo cutting in will score a goal. Salah. Saka's going to do what Saka's going to do. And obviously, City with their wingers, I mean, they got Haaland, so it's a bit different with them with Haaland in it. So we need our wingers to stand up and actually put up some big numbers. And I think they can do it, but that's the question mark that other rivals should have of us, because our wingers haven't actually proven it yet.
100%. I actually listen. I'm still waiting to judge Chelsea before the Liverpool game. If Chelsea are like not there, I'm just gonna have.
Do you think there's an actual plan at Chelsea, or are they just gonna keep jamming good players in till like it works?
I think there is a plan and there's a clear like strategy in place. I'm not actually the biggest fan of the strategy, even though again it made me a world champion, so I'm grateful for that. But of course, there's a lot of young players coming in. It's developing talents. It's now we're starting to actually buy more experienced players, which I appreciate, because before it was like you were signing your Dacho Fofanas, your Chukwuemekas, guys who barely have had 50 senior games. Now obviously it's a bit different with signing João Pedro, even guys like Hato, Andre Santos coming into the squad. These guys have had well over 100 senior games, so it's a bit better. But obviously, we still need more. And again, I feel like if you go and sign a proven goalkeeper, you sign a proven centre back, that takes up to another level. But we haven't done that yet. Obviously, in the winger areas, you're still going for more like talents. Again, Gitten's got decent experience, but is he going to give you the goals that we need to win a league? It remains to be seen. So I think there is a strategy in place. It's just, it is slow roll with a lot of obviously talents just thrown in just to see if they can like up their market value and then maybe be sold on for a profit.
Yeah, but hasn't it worked though? Hasn't it worked though? Hasn't it worked? It's worked, isn't it? I was saying it worked. I think it worked. I remember I made that comment more. And
do you think winning the Conference League and winning the Club World Cup means that that it's working? Do you think? Okay, hold on. Do you guys think that, with all due respect, do you guys think that Man United winning the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup back-to-back years, is that a sign of their model working?
More the Club World Cup, more the Club World Cup.
Because that's what I'm hearing now.
No,
more the league position, isn't it?
Exactly, Jerry. So, right? It's about the performances in the league.
It's both because they were able to win along the road of trying to get into the Champions League. So that is progression.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, okay. If Chelsea this season are behind the likes of Liverpool, Man City, and Arsenal, and they are in top 4, that doesn't change anything from last season, does it? It's the same.
I mean, I agree, right? And again, there's different types of progression, because you can say Arsenal progressed and their project was working from finishing 8th to now finishing 2nd 3 times in a row. But where's the trophy? Whereas for us, we've got trophies, but of course, a big sign of success is actually what you do in the league. And we haven't actually shown it consistently yet over 38 games. So I think you need a combination of both. Of course, there's signs of progression, and obviously beating the PSG in a cup in a final 3-0. Like that is a real sign of progression. That's not the same as winning a Carabao Cup or FA Cup against a weakened City that were on the piss after winning the league. That's not the same as beating up PSG. You slapped up Real Madrid a few days before that.
Hold on, you think the Club World Cup is more important than the FA Cup, for example?
Yeah. Of course it is. Okay. Everybody here will tell you that.
The teams were better. The teams were better.
Well, I think that like half of the teams. I mean, there was Wellington FC that lost 10-0 or something. Half of them were Brazilian teams. I don't think the FA Cup.
On European teams.
Yeah, but there was only a few really good European teams. There wasn't the champion of Spain. There wasn't the champion of Italy. There wasn't it wasn't the best team.
There were more elite European teams than there weren't. There were more elite European teams than they weren't in that competition.
Also, because it's in the middle of the summer. Like it doesn't even feel to me like the teams can take it fully seriously.
We said
wait. When is the Euros played? When is the World Cup played? Is that not played?
But people take those fully seriously. I think at this time,
PSG wanted it.
On the line, teams not taking it seriously. Are you really going to tell me that?
Yeah, but this is the only year where it's actually had prize money. You guys don't remember who won it last year?
Yeah,
or
this is the first time it happened. This is the first time it ever happened.
Maybe it starts being important from now, but the FA Cup is a trophy which has mattered for like 100 years.
So it starts being important after Chelsea win it. All right, I see.
I was consistent with it. I didn't like it beforehand, and I didn't like it after Chelsea won it.
Let's win something and qualify. Maybe.
Yeah, if Arsenal won the Champions League, you'd have a different.
Well, the FA Cup. I'm the holders of the FA Cup.
Do you know what? I can also go as far as saying
respect my FA Cups. All right.
Nah, if PSG won this, we'll be glazing them. Saying, "Oh my God, clean sweep." We could say
no.
Come on, lads. Come on. No. You know what? Even the Brazilian teams could
yes, of course. There's a difference. There's a difference between winning the Champions League, winning your league, and then going to win the Club World Cup, or coming fourth, win the Conference League and win the Club World Cup. It's like it's so different.
A team that's that good in a final,
which is why credit is due. But if you don't follow that with progression in the league, and I see lethargic Chelsea not playing one in the league, we're gonna call it out. That is not progression. And I don't want any Chelsea fan to come back and say, but we're world champion. We won the it's the same as Man United, but we won the Carabao Cup. We won the FA Cup. That's not the point.
The FA Cup, if you're finishing like 17, it's not. Winning the World Club Cup is great. And listen, it will be a moment in time if we end up just being a team that finishes 4th, 5th, and doesn't do anything in the league. I get it. It will be just a moment in time. But that's a crazy moment in time to go and win a competition with all the great teams that were in it, and you beat a team that's being touted as being generational.
You must contend this season. That's all I'm saying.
That's the point. That doesn't change the fact that we've done what we did in the summer. That doesn't change the fact that we've done what we've done in the summer.
Spurs showed that it's possible to win a cup by completely ignoring your league and just becoming 17th. But you focus everything on winning the Europa. Is that progression, or is it just like contorting yourself into a shape to win a trophy and then you feel better about it, right? So there's a lot of different things, but you've got to be up there in the league and winning the top trophies to really feel like it's progression.
I'll tell you what, right now, I'd rather just win trophies than be up there and not win anything, because at the end
of the day, you'd rather be 17th and win the Europa League than participate in the Champions League and be in top 4 of the league.
It'll be a rough journey that I wouldn't appreciate, but at the end of the day, if I can say that, you know what, I won something, that's a moment in time. I went out there and celebrated with my boys.
But then you won something, but then you got to wake up the next day. I can't tell my
kids about we put pressure on City or Liverpool. That doesn't do anything for me. I get it. It's great.
Well, you guys haven't put pressure on City or Liverpool yet, so you can't say that either.
We put pressure on PSG in the cup final, and we took something home.
That was.
I'm not gonna lie. As a Liverpool fan, like I don't sit there and like I'm not happy about. Yeah, we finished second and we got 98 points and we still didn't win the league. If anything, that's upsetting. I never viewed it as progression. But
wait. No. You can't say that, because Liverpool fans said that there should be a new trophy for coming second after City won all the leagues in a row.
That was a joke.
I don't know what Liverpool fans are speaking to, but I'm not the guy. I'm not the guy to drop that with. What I'm saying is, I know for a fact that on the days we won Carabao Cups or we won FA Cups in the way we did against Chelsea, that was more important to us than finishing third or second, or it ultimately didn't matter. That's why it means so much when we won the league, and that's why it meant so much when we won last year, because it was that raw. Like
I'm not belittling a league or anything like that. That's crazy. I think that there's
no, not a league. I'm just saying that the trophies are important. The trophies are important. Like because again, you're forgetting. No, they are, because in the Club World Cup, to his point, to Chelsea and everything, PSG were going out there to win it. They weren't in it.
Yeah, but that was the only hard team that they played along the way, right? Like, and in the Conference League, they played no one hard.
You could say the same thing. You could say the same thing with an FA Cup. You could say the same thing with a Carabao Cup.
What the fuck?
What?
Okay, the actual news about Saudi Martinelli is actually true.
It's true.
This guy in the Kaila definitely has an insight somewhere. This is not the same guy. This is a new team, as he said, but it's definitely true. It's in the Arabic. Like, if you go and Google it in Arabic, it's actually true.
That's true. It's true.
That's fucking weird.
But that's why I heard from somewhere that the Eze deal had been that was there from a long time. Like it's been bubbling over. It wasn't a random. They've just done it now because of Kai Havertz.
I thought we turned down some offer from Saudi. That's all I'd heard.
It's not that much money, though. Not the 80 million pounds. It's 80 million pouns to get the guy.
That's a lot. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money, bro. For some whatever reason, the only way this doesn't go through is if he does a Nunes, which is like Nunes told Liverpool, I'm not going to Saudi. It's like, I'm not leaving to go to Saudi Arabia. Find me a and then at the end he had to accept it. You know, like it had to stop and then go back. The only way this happens if Arsenal force him out like Nunes, they're like, bro, you have to go to Saudi Arabia.
Well, the problem they'll have though is if they're signing Eze and they've signed Madueke and they've still got Trossard and they're telling Martinelli you're actually not going to get any minutes really, then it's like
they're going to get Rodrygo. If they sell Martinelli for 80 million, they're going to get Rodrygo.
I don't think so. I think it's the Eze that Eze comes in for Martinelli. That's what it is. I don't think they're going to get Rodrygo.
Now with Kai Havertz being injured, we don't know the extension of Kai Havertz being injured, by the way.
Yeah, but
Eze is not a Kai Havertz replacement.
But
let me tell you why. Why? Because I actually think that Kai Havertz was not viewed as the striker. He was probably viewed as attacking midfielder or something.
Yeah, but you forget more. You're dealing with Arsenal. It's never, they will not go for that top guy. They will always just go for the closer guy. And he knows, as an Arsenal fan, this is going to be fantasy. No way, Rodrygo.
No, I think you guys are all talking out your ass. You got no idea where Martinelli's going. I think Arteta loves Martinelli from a defensive standpoint. He gets up the field and he gets back and helps double up on his winger. So I don't think he's going to sell him. I really don't see it happening. But
80 million.
80 million? Maybe.
80 million. Take that and run away.
It's not. Look, I don't get excited about sales. I know you guys like to have a dick measuring competition over sales, but like I'm not a selling club. I was a selling club when you guys were starting out, Man City, and you bought a bunch of our players.
Yeah.
But
Then we started selling to you.
So.
Then we started selling to you. Yeah, it is what it is.
Only clubs that like are trying to make a profit worry about the sales.
No, but the thing is, you know why I'm saying, this 80 million is because you can use it. Can I ask something? Why is Arsenal not looking at Lookman? I think he would be cool for you guys.
That's the type of winger when you're looking at profile and I speak about it. I think if you had another winger, like if Martinelli got goals, you wouldn't have this problem. There would be no talk of, we need this forward to get the goals. It's because he doesn't get goals, which is the problem.
Let me do this because I want to speak a little bit about Liverpool because I'm not going to stay for long, to be honest. Do you think Arsenal will have another injury crisis since they have a lot of players coming back from surgery and the intensity of the league?
Well, we didn't play in a useless preseason competition for like 2 months in July or whatever. So I think we're probably better off than some teams like City. And I think we'll see those major injuries happening later. But hopefully we've got enough cover this time to handle injuries because that's the whole thing we were missing is actual useful bench players.
I'm just sorry, you just can't be flippant about trophies when your team is not fluent.
It's a joke. It was a joke. It's a useful competition. I'm very proud of you guys.
The jokes that I've got to just mention that.
No, I don't think they're worrying about the right team. Was my point. I think that we were on the beach while everyone else was like playing in 35-degree heat in America and empty stadiums.
Also, injuries can't be predicted. If it happens, it happens. If not, I mean, and if it does happen, you just got to react. That's what big teams do. You just got to deal with it.
So last part is the Isak situation. Jerry, one of the most rational people of Liverpool. How do you see that Isak thing going?
How do I see it going?
Okay, let me ask you the question that is I asked a lot of people. What do you want Newcastle? If you're a Newcastle now, what do you want Newcastle to do? What do you think is the right course of action after what happened yesterday?
If I'm a Newcastle fan, you're saying?
No. If you're a Newcastle Football Club, not a Newcastle fan.
If I'm Newcastle Football Club, and I am led to believe what I am with regards to their ownership and how their attitudes towards certain things, they make Liverpool sweat, and you either pay us the 150 that we want, right? Or guess what? In worst case scenario, we're not even selling. We're just not going to sell you, and we don't really need the money, right? Because we've got all this money, really. And if we're not obliged to sell because of PSR, we just won't sell him. And it is what it is. If we've got to sell him in January, if we've got to sell him in the summer, it is what it is. Even if at a cut price, but they'll try to make a statement about, you know what, a player can't just bully us into wanting to go somewhere where he does, and all of this.
When I said that, Sam called me crazy this morning on Straight Facts with Terry. Both of them called me stupid. They called me stupid. They called me stupid. They said, how would you? They should sell him at 130. 130 is good. It's a British record. You know what I mean?
130 is good. No, 130 is good. Like objectively, 130 million is always good, right?
But they will look like mugs if they sell for 130. After that statement, they look like mugs.
Yeah, they would look like mugs. And on top of that, it's Newcastle. Again, this would have maybe made a bit more sense for me last season. So last season, Newcastle had a lot of PSR problems. It's like, do you know what I mean? All right, we've got to sell our players. You can probably go and bully them like that. If they don't have to sell, and I don't know the financials, I don't know where they are with PSR. But if they don't have to sell, right, and they're making a statement of it's like you are not going, guess what? Isak's just going to end up playing for Newcastle and he's not going to go.
I need to make you full screen because you're the first Liverpool fan to say that, guys. Wallah, we finally got the guy himself, Jerry James, channel in the description. Like, it is absolutely ridiculous that someone finally sees the light and sees the logic and the rationale about the transfer window and why I said Newcastle must not sell for less than 140, 150. Finally, a Liverpool fan that has brains, with all due respect to all the Liverpool content creators, right? Finally. Because, oh my God, no, they must sell. They must accept that that he won, and he twisted his arm.
Ultimately, they don't care. And the way Newcastle will look at it now is be like, oh, well, clearly you need this forward because you've been pushing for him all summer, and nothing's died down, and the rumours are Liverpool are still going to go, and there's going to be another bid. Well, guess what? Liverpool are going to have to pay the asking price, and it comes to a point where it's like, shit, you know what? I could have got it for 130 before. Now I'm going to have to pay the 150. And I'm just going to have to pay it. And it is what it is. And ultimately, if Liverpool pay 150 and Isak gets 30 goals in the league, it doesn't matter. Like, it works, right? But Liverpool, in the way they're run, right? Liverpool have the money to go and buy him for 150. I mean, theoretically speaking, there's no real difference between 110 and 150 at that point, at that scale. But Liverpool operate intelligently and do their due diligence, and they're like, we are not going to pay over a certain amount because they don't want to be a club that's like United, where they just
if you don't do
spend,
this, guys. So if Liverpool don't pay the asking price, have they let Isak down? Because they told him all summer, we're coming for
depends
you.
What they told him, innit? They probably have, depends on what they told him. If they told him, look, we're gonna come in for you, we're gonna get that bid, and we're gonna sort it out, and we're pushing you to do this, and look, we think you should drop this statement. You know, clubs do this type of stuff. Look, push. You got to push your way out. You've got to, you know, maybe don't go to training. Maybe make it a bit uncomfortable for Newcastle. If they've told him to do all of that, and Liverpool don't go in and get him, then of course they failed him. But that's football, isn't it? Football.
Do we know what promises were kept
like
to Isak? Because
yes, contract. It's
so
already
he wanted
there.
A new contract from Newcastle.
He was promised a new. Okay, apparently Amanda Stavely, like started negotiating a new contract.
Right.
That's what Craig Hope said, and Isak didn't deny it, and Newcastle didn't deny that. Newcastle didn't deny that the contract promises were made, and actually their main journalist said that Paul Mitchell made a mistake, which is the contract situation. That the new sporting director, when he came on, actually he didn't give him the contract, and they gave him the contract later. So they made promises to him about a contract, and they didn't deliver. And then
so they
actually offered the contract
to him that he could go to another club, because I found that like absolutely unbelievable for a club like Newcastle with their aspirations. We saw this when we tried to buy Rice off West Ham. West Ham think of themselves as like a top 6 club. To get Rice, we got no discount. We ended up having to pay over the asking price to get them to like.
Chelsea paid 115 million total package for Moises Caicedo. That is the asking price. They just paid it. Yeah. Liverpool fans, with all due respect to everyone, Jerry, Liverpool fans want us to say that this is how much Liverpool value Isak. So we're not going to pay a penny more. Well, guess what? Arsenal didn't want to pay over 90 million and ended up paying 105. Chelsea didn't want to pay over 100 and they paid 150 because that's the asking price.
That's very true. And I know, and exactly, and clubs do that, but Liverpool, in the way that they operate, they don't move like that. So
which is fine. An example, but it's not Newcastle's fault, right? But it's not Newcastle's fault.
It's not Newcastle's fault.
Finally, someone is saying it.
It's not Newcastle's fault. Newcastle, well, he's their asset, innit? If they don't want to sell at that price, they don't want to sell at that price.
3 years left
now, Liverpool, the way they move, they view a player at a certain price, and 9 times out of 10, they're not going to go above that price. They view a player on a certain tax bracket of wage, right? They're not going to go above that. You've seen with Konate. Konate wants to be on a certain amount. They're struggling to get the deal through. This has happened. We had this with Gini Wijnaldum. Gini Wijnaldum wanted a pay increase in his pay bracket. Liverpool didn't want to offer it. Luis Diaz, he wanted more money. Liverpool didn't want to give it to him. Whereas he's getting 300k or 300 odd K at Bayern Munich. Liverpool just move the way they move, and they're going to trust their processes. And Liverpool will go and be like, we're not going to pay over a certain amount, because again, they want to make sure that they're the club that are in the strong position where you know you can't negotiate that you can't rinse Liverpool for money. Whereas with United, historically, you know you can take them to the cleaners. Like you can. Do you know what I mean? Like you put, will you say 150? They might even put 155 at a certain point. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so
130 and 10 add-ons and should be acceptable to both. Again, that is your view. That's the problem with Liverpool fans. That is your view. It's your opinion in the assessment of Ethan. That is not what Newcastle have said. It's like Arsenal, we value Rice at 90. It's like
the fans, they would have to feel that they got a good deal out of it. They got
100%
money. Like
they will never forget the club if the club sell at a price that the fans are not happy with. You will the fans will absolutely be livid. They need to actually. I believe that 140 million will be acceptable, which is what Jeff is saying. I get it, Jeff. I'm with you, but the problem is Newcastle see it differently. They don't see it the same way.
And look, they might not. Maybe it might become a last day of the season where Liverpool are calling Newcastle's bluff. Like Newcastle are like, all right, let's see. We're putting that 130 on the table. Let's see. Because
that's what I said to Sam. Put the money on the table and see. Call the bluff.
There is the flip side again to your point, and it might make them look weak, but where Newcastle look at it and they're like, shit, if we don't take 130 now, we might not ever see that amount of money, do you know what I mean, for a player again. So maybe we do take it, right? and we look to go and redevelop stadium, train, whatever, reinvest that money, right? But if Newcastle have decided they are not selling for 150, the only way Liverpool are going to get him is to pay 150.
100%. That is what I think, to be honest with you. But listen, big up everybody that joined us. Congratulations to Arsenal on Eze. Congratulations to Bloco, Strasbourg, and Chelsea together on Enciso. I know that deal came from Man City are trying to get maybe Rodrygo now is the line. If the line or
Rodrygo
Arsenal
is a lie. It's a lie, Mo. It's always been a lie. It's a pipe.
You know, if Rodrygo goes to Arsenal, like under your nose, you fucked. Like,
fuck for what? I'm cool, man. I have Turkey. I'm good.
Apparently, we will sell Martinelli if we get another left winger in. So,
but you know what, Mo? If they get Rodrygo and don't win this league, I don't want to...
It's not only that they should sack Arteta. I think you should still, I should Saliba and Saka. Just sack the cronkies at this time.
You guys are talking about excuses. I'm like the biggest Arteta fan, but if he doesn't win it this year, he's got all the tools.
Can I ask you a question, Mo, before I go? Mo, before I go, do you genuinely think, let's say, for instance, they get Rodrygo and Eze, all these guys in, and
I think they win the league. Yeah, they win the league.
They finished second and fell in the Champions League. Do you think finally Madrid will come and say Saliba come this side, and Saliba will be like, you know what, it's about time.
150 million, and I'll sign off on it.
Yes.
To be fair, I don't know. If they want Konate, then how's he going to play with Hoyson?
They're going to get both.
Saliba will leave
eventually. Signing a new deal.
They will, even if Saliba signs, they will get both.
And you think Hoyson on the bench? You're saying Hoyson on the bench?
No, Xabi Alonso plays 3 at the back. It will be Saliba in the middle, Konate on the right, and Hoyson on the left. They got this left-footed guy, the new guy as well. He's gonna be left back. They are targeting 2 center backs.
Saliba's not going.
Anyway, I'm gonna listen, people. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I'm gonna see you guys soon. We're out of here.
Love.